Hello guys, this is Tad, your Homestead provider. We're out here in the yard fixing to build a couple of more chicken tractors. Now, we are going to be building the Suscovich style chicken tractors. You can find how the plans and everything, how to do it, all the materials in his book. And I'll put the link down in the description of where you can get that at. But I've built, I have two Suscovich style, I have one Joe Salatin style. And so far, I have to say the Suscovich is by far my favorite. Both of them have their benefits and a few issues with them, but my favorite has been the Suscovich style so far. Now, the most economical, what you would get for the most money would definitely be the Joe Salatin style. You don't hardly fit as many chickens into this Suscovich style as you do the Salatin style, so it takes more wood, more time, a little bit more money, but in my opinion it's worth it in the long run. But we're going to be going through the process of how to build this. Now, I have figured out it's just as easy to build two as it is one, so I'm basically going to double everything I'm doing right now. So we'll have two in the end. I've got the majority of materials. I got quite a bit of wood. I got most everything together. Now, I am no carpenter. It'll take me a few days to do this. But you know, it is what it is. So let's get to it. Now remember that I said I am doubling this, so I'm gonna be cutting two of everything. So I'm gonna start out by cutting 4 2x4 by 8 foot 2-foot sections. So I'm fixing to mark and cut them. I'm not going to show it on live. I'm going to show it on time of lapse, mainly because all the racket's fixing to be with this saw here. So I'm fixing to cut out my 2x4 by 8 foot boards. I'm going to cut 4 of them in 2-foot sections. Now, another thing John talks about in his book, he literally says this is a chicken tractor. So if a piece isn't exactly right, don't worry about it. So there again, I'm not a carpenter. It ain't got to be perfect. We're not building a house here. It's a chicken tractor. So let's get to it. All right, I got my 2x4 by 8s cut in 2-foot sections. There should be 4 of them there total. So next we're going to cut a 2x4 by 12 into 2 sections of 5 foot 7 inches. So I need 2 because I'm doing 2 tractors. So I'm going to do 2 boards that are 12 foot long, 2x4s, 5 foot 7. So let's get to it. I already know the next thing it says to do. Just leave 2 2x4 by 10 foot boards whole. So that's easy enough. So I threw 4 whole 2x4 by 10s over here to the side already. So that's already completed. That was really tough. Next it says to create the bottom boards of the chicken tractor, bottom rails, you're going to need to use a 2x4 by 12, and you're going to cut it 11 foot 4 inches in length. So we're going to go through that. Let's get it. Alrighty, now it says to cut 1 2x4 by 10 into a section that is 5 foot 7 inches long, and then I'm going to have 2 sections out of this 10-foot board that is 1 foot and 9 3/8, 2 of them. So Alrighty, now next we're going to cut two 1x4x8 foot boards in a 4 foot 8.5 section and a 2 foot section. So I'm going to need 4 of them. So. Alrighty, and lastly, we're going to cut a 1x4x8 section of that's 5 foot and a section that's 2 foot 7 1/4. So that'll be done with the majority of our cutting. From then on, there's just little pieces and little stuff, but I'll kind of show you and talk to you as we go through it. All right, so next we have our 4, or actually I have 8 2 foot pieces that we have to cut. Now what we're going to do, we're going to cut down about 3/4 of the way of the board width ways, because what's going to happen is our 1x4s is going to lay in there like so. So what the book says to do, what the plan said to do, measure out 3.5 inches from the end. And this is going to be on each end, so 3.5 right there. Then we're going to mark it with our speed square, 3.5 inch mark. And then what we're going to do is cut several swipes down through here, several pieces right here in this little section. Basically, you're cutting out about half of the 2x4 width wise. So we're going to make several swipes, and now they make saws to do this, but I don't have them. So what I'm going to do is make several swipes, and what I did last time I was cutting them is just take a old hatchet and shave it off. Now I don't have a chisel, but a chisel would work too, but the hatchet worked pretty good for me last time, so I'm just going to basically take and cut it and smooth it up. So I'll show you that process. I'm not going to show you every one of them because it's going to be very repetitive, but I'll show you the first one and then speed it up quite a bit. Alrighty, now guys, you can see what I did right there. Basically cut it up and shaved it, and see this 1x will fit right in there, almost just perfect, almost. But so I'm going to do this several more times. Whenever I get done with that, we'll move on to the next step and I'll show you. Alrighty, now guys, this is a new day. I've got all of the wood cut, I've got all of the pieces chipped out. We're ready to start putting it together, so let's get to it. Alrighty, now guys, one of the things that that's a little trick I figured out so far. This seems to be the easiest way for me to get these doors to fit just right. Go ahead and stick them in here like you're gonna have them. Stick them in the spots where they would go, just like that. Take your boards. What I think this is, what, 1 1/4 inch screw. Go through it pretty good. What you want to do is take your boards and screw it while it's up here. That makes it so you get it fit just right in there. Saves you a little heartache in the end there. Take it and do it just like so. Oh, come out. Do that, do the top, and then come down here and do the bottom same exact way. On there to fit just right. Now remember me telling y'all that I am not a carpenter? Well, I'm not. So there's probably a better way to do this. You know what? It works for me. So screw that in down there. Then we'll do the same thing on this side right here. And then I'll pull it off and finish screwing it down good, just like that. All right, there's your door. So I'm gonna lay it down right here and screw it off a little bit more. Now, another thing that I figured out, if I don't know if the book said it or not, but putting these little metal 90-degree angles at the corners here on the bottom. Here, I'll go ahead and do one or two to show you. But this right here helps keep it sturdy as you're moving it around in the fields. This bracing here helps out quite a bit. Keep it good and tight. That way it won't be starting to twist or turn on you or nothing like that. So you'll need 8 of them to go. If you're doing 2, you'll need 8 to go in the corners. And that helps out in the long run. I'm just trying to make this thing last for a while. So and right there, screw it down. So yeah, I'll do that to the 4 corners of all that right there, and finish these doors right here, and we'll talk about it a little more. Alrighty, now guys, another little word of advice. This is the front of your tractor right here. So on both sides, you're going to want to cut this front 2x4 off at an angle. That way, this right here is not digging in the ground whenever you're pulling on it. So easiest thing to do is just take a skill saw and just go to cutting. It's not no big deal. Just like that. It ain't got to be perfect, but that saves you a lot of heartache right there whenever you're moving it around. Alrighty guys, one thing I forgot to show y'all right here. I did it and forgot to record it. I drilled a 5/8 drill hole on each side of the front of this and just run a string through it. Just simply tied it off. That helps you pull it whenever you're moving it around in the field. You grab it and just pull. That's what gives you leverage. So forgot to show you that while I was doing it. So there you go. Alrighty, now guys, the book shows you to measure this conduit right here, 5 inches from the end, and I'm gonna mark it with a Sharpie, 5 inches roughly, right there, and turn it over. I'm gonna do 5 inches from the other end, right there. Then I'm gonna measure 5 foot, because 5 foot is gonna be the middle, because it's 10-foot conduit. Let's do this like there. So 5 foot is gonna be 60 inches. 60 inches is right about there. And I'm also gonna measure 55 inches, because I need to come 5 inches off of 5 foot for whenever I'm bending this conduit. And I'll show you here in just a second of how we're doing that. So I'm going to take and mark this mark the whole way around the side of the conduit there, because this is going to make your roof. This is making the top portion of the tractor that your chicken wire and the tarp is going to be laying on. So we'll show you this right here. All right, I've got that marked. Now we're fixing to go to bending it. Hang on just a second, we'll get to that. Alrighty, now guys, now bending this conduit, your conduit bender might or might not come with a little adapter, so you can change the angle where you need to go. So on the ends, the angle has got to be 45 degrees. So I'm gonna put this on the 45-degree mark. Get it down in there. All right. Now, where I marked this conduit right here, that line is gonna need to be on the end of your bender right here. So your little bender, your mark, needs to be lined up right there with that line. All right. Now what we're going to do is take this right here and just bend it down. Do it slow, right to the 45-degree mark right there on the ground. And then I hope you can see that from the video. And don't do it too much, because you will get carried away and bend the whole conduit. But you want about roughly 45-degree angle, which is kind of what we got right there. Now I'm going to take the other side and do the same exact thing. Now, whenever you're doing this, you could probably build a jig and do it, but I didn't want to fool with that, so I just guesstimate it. Now you want that side, that 45 on the other end, to be pointed directly up as much as possible. So I've got it marked, I've got it pointed up, straight up there. I'm going to bend this one just like that right there. All right, got that bent. Another 45. All right, now I'm going to take this guide out, put it in my pocket, and we're going to bend 90 degrees right in the middle. Okay, so there again, I'm going to use my marker on my bender, and that is going to be the short end, is where I'm going to start. Okay, so remember my 60-inch mark and then 55. You're going to want to start on the 55-inch mark. Do it just right. Still wanting to get still trying to keep your 45s directly up. All right, and then you're going to bend this one a little more. It's going to go down to 90. So we're going to bend it all the way down, just like that, right there. Undo it. And there is the roof portion of your chicken tractor. That is bending the conduit. Okay, so now we're fixing to go over here, and I'm gonna show you where to drill these holes and how to do that. Alrighty, now guys, I got my 4 pieces of cross conduit, half-inch conduit bent down there. Now we're fixing to drill these spots on this 2x4 down through here, and 4 of them, because I've got 4 on each side. So let's do that. Now I'm using a 5/8 inch drill bit. It's going to be really tight, and you're going to have to push quite a bit, but
I'd rather that be a little tight. I'm just gonna waller it out a little bit, just like that right there. Ain't got to be super deep because you ain't gonna push it down real far, but waller it out there a little, give you more room. So I drilled that hole right there at the joint of them 3 2x4s right there, kind of right in the middle. Now this one right here, I'm gonna put it right directly in the middle of this joint spot right here. So let's drill this one. Take and waller it out. Ain't got to be perfect. This is a chicken tractor. Alrighty. Now I'm gonna go do the same thing on the other side, exact same thing. Then we're gonna put this, put these pieces of conduit up here. Alrighty guys, so I got all my holes drilled here. So now what I'm gonna do is take my conduit pieces and just go to starting them. Put them down in these holes. Push it down with as much force as you can. I put quite a bit of body weight into it, pushing. Get it as tight as you can down there. Same thing right here. All right, that's got that one. Do all 4 of them exact same way. Push them down as far as you can. Just repeat. Push it down in there. Alrighty, that's got all of them. That's got all of them put up in there. And now what I'm fixing to do is take a drill with some screws. I'll just show you here real quick. Get you some screws. And you're gonna want your drill. Now this is what I do. There's tons of stuff, tons of ways to do this. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Get your drill and some screws. And I take a screw, screw it right down in. What's that over? Well. Alright, well, I got my drills and screws. I tried screwing it, but you know what? It won't work without a battery, so I had to fix that. So, like I was saying, what you're going to do, this is what I do. It makes it, I guess it gives it a little more support, keeps them from leaning so bad. What I do is take a screw and screw down right in the edge where that conduit goes down in that ground. It gives it a little more support right there. So, take it and do it on all 8 spots, and I don't know if it helps or not, but sure ain't gonna hurt none. I feel like it makes it a little more sturdy if nothing else. So. Alrighty, now I'm gonna repeat that on the same side over there, and we'll be back. Alrighty guys, now what we're going to do is take our 5th piece of conduit and put it across the top. So you basically just secure it with zip ties. And what I'm gonna do is try to get one going here in the middle to kind of hold it. And then we'll get everything straightened up, but I need one to hold it right here, kind of steady. So we'll do this one. Something like that. Then we'll take and do this one down here on the end. Do this one while I'm standing here. Now these are some heavy duty zip ties I got. I don't know, from somebody. I'm pretty sure somebody gave me a bag of them. But there's that, and then you're basically just tying it down. And now there are other ways to do this, but this has worked just fine for me so far. So that's what I'll continue doing. The rest of it calls for buying a connector, but what's the point in buying one when I already have this and it works fine? So zip tying all them down through here, and then come back and do the other side same way. Get it all, that way it's covered on both sides. Here it looks a little long. Let me scoot it down. There's that. There's that. 2 more and that'll be done. Now that has got that crossbar secured. So now what I'm gonna do is take some tin snips, or you could use wire cutters or whatever, and just snip them long pieces of cable tie down here. Snip them off, basically. Alrighty, that's got all that done right there. So the next step is going to be putting our chicken wire over the top of it. Okay, so the book calls for 4 foot on each side. Basically, that's going to leave a gap in the middle. You know, it would allow for something to get in there with them. So what I did, I bought some 6 foot long chicken wire, and I'm basically going to overlap it. So I feel like that's a little more secure. I feel like it would prevent anything from trying to get in there with them any more than there already is. So we'll go through that here in just a minute. I'll show you how to do it. We'll be done. Alrighty, now guys, what I did, I got my 6 foot chicken wire through over the chicken tractor, and I've got it already stapled on that side over there. I didn't really want y'all to watch me struggle doing this by myself, so I went ahead and did it off of camera. But you can get the gist of it. I staple it on that side. I'm gonna cut that extra off over there in just a minute, and then you basically just come over here, pull it tight best you can, and just go to stapling it. And that is that's basically what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna sit here and bore you with this over and over and over, but I'm gonna get this one stapled down, cut it off, do that side over there, and then we'll be back and I'll show you something else. Alrighty, I want to show you this real quick. Whenever I made the first one, I got some wire cutters, and I cut every single one of these wires across here. I'm like, there's got to be something easier. So this thing I come up with is a grinder. So I already had this grinder. You could get you a cutting blade put on this, but grinder works just fine, and basically makes your life a whole lot easier and a whole lot quicker. What you're going to want to do, get it going, come down through here cutting. Just like that right there, it's done. Now, obviously, you can see down here on the end, it almost got caught up on me, so you do have to be careful. But this is 100 times faster than cutting them one at a time. So, just a little tip there to help you out. Alrighty guys, so now what we're gonna do, this is a 4-foot section of chicken wire. So we're gonna put it on this end and put it on the door frame end, and we'll show you how we do that real quick. Alrighty, now what I got going now, I run out of 4-foot chicken wire. So I'm gonna use a section of this 6-foot. It's gonna work fine. I'm just gonna have to cut extra out. So the way I'm gonna do it, do on the front of these, is staple it down on the sides and leave this loose, and then basically tuck it in behind the door here, and then staple it on the inside, and that'll kind of secure it from anything getting in and out. But hey guys, we're going to put the hardware cloth on this door here before we put it up on the actual coop. It's 100 times easier to do it when it's off on the ground. So here we go. All right, that's all there is to that. Now let's hang this door up. Alrighty, now let's wrap this hardware cloth around this thing. We're almost done. All right, now guys, the next thing I'm gonna do is drill our axle holes for our wheels on the back of this tractor here. So basically our axle is gonna be a 5/8 inch bolt. It fit mainly because it fits these wheels I got just perfect. So we're gonna drill a couple 5/8 inch hole and continue on. Alrighty, now next what I'm gonna do is make the watering system for this this tractor right here. So we're gonna go through the process of that. Basically, I come up with this idea just kind of looking around and piddling, but I'm gonna take some 2x4s, put them together, and I'm gonna have a bucket sitting on top of one of the boards. So initially, my first ones I had the bucket hanging from from the handle of the bucket. Anyway, over time the water becomes too heavy and it ends up tearing up. So I figured that if you could set the bucket on a piece of wood to hold some of the weight, that'll help it out, keep it from breaking and make it last longer. So let's get to it. Alrighty, now guys, let's make this watering system here. So I have a bunch of nipples, these little chicken water nipples, and some joints to screw them into, and then put the pipe into right there. So I ordered this off Amazon. I've used this on all my chicken tractors I've got so far. It's worked really good. So I'll put the link down in the description for that. But I'm going to put one about 7 inches, 7-8 inches, something like that. So let's go to cutting. It ain't got to be exact. Again, this is a chicken tractor. So I'm just going to go to cutting. I need about 6 pieces. Four. 5. And here is 6. So I'm going to start out by making the middle section of this first. So what I've got here is a 1/2 inch T, and in the middle here, this has got a threaded end. So this is a 1/2 inch threaded male, fit a 3/8 inch hole. Essentially what you're going to do is screw it down in there and put a pipe, or put a tube over it right there and cinch it down. So let's go ahead and be working on that. Now, usually if I was doing something in a house, I would probably use a primer. This is not a house. This is a chicken tractor. So I'm going to push it down in there, cinch it down. Same thing right there. That's done. I might end up having to cut some of these off a little bit. I feel like that's probably too long. Just by glancing at it there. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So let's just cut some of this end off here. So just be sure it's down tight, kind of twist it as you're putting it in. That'll cinch it down. All right, now let's go to doing our little nipple sections. So this right here, the T is going to be pointing up. This T for the nipple needs to be pointing almost exactly straight down. So just like that. There's one. There's 2. Right here is 3. I want to get me some more. See, man, I got another jar over there. But I really like this watering system. It's worked very good for me so far. Now I'm sure you know, there's hundreds of options out there. You can do whatever you want to do, whatever your little heart desires. But this right here has worked out well for me, so I guess I'll keep on using it for now till I come up with something better. But there they are, all essentially pointing down. Same direction. There we go. Let's start on this other side here. Here's, I don't know how old this is. So let's just keep it moving. You want it pretty much directly down, just like that. Here is your last section. And that is the end of it right there. Now, I'm not going to put caps on the end just yet. I want to take it over here to the chicken tractor and be sure exactly how much I need for the ends so it'll hold up there right. So let's just go ahead and do these little nipples right here. I'm going to screw them in. They pretty much just need to be about hand tight. So I sent some of these down whenever I first made it, and I broke some of these T's, and it's on that tractor it drips, so try not to do that. I have always been notorious for cinching down stuff too much, but I'm gonna go easier on this right here. There's that one. That one. And here is the last one. Alright, now what I'm going to do is give me some pipe dope here, or what I call pipe dope. Piping compound. Basically, what you're going to do is take this and put it on the threads of your male end on this adapter right here. I'm going to go ahead and cinch it down on this T in the middle. That way it can kind of be setting up. But basically take that, screw it down right here in the middle. Now I'm going to get some channel locks and kind of tighten it down a little bit. Now this is plastic, just like the other, just like these little nipples. You can cinch it down too much, it will cross thread and it'll leak. So don't get too carried away. But you want it to be good and tight. Now, we're going to take this right over here and measure it, see about where I want it to sit on the tractor. So I'm going to put it somewhere on the inside, obviously, but see, this right here, it's going to be something about like that, and I just need just a little end on each side. Like that right there is almost perfect. So I'm gonna put a little end on each side and cap it off. So let's go back over here. It ain't gonna take much. You could tell by looking at it, just a little. So I'm gonna say that right there is probably all you're gonna need. A little piece. I'm gonna take this in here and cut it in half. Now we got that. Push it down in here as far as you can get it. And then you're going to take a cap, 1/2 inch cap. Cap it off here on the end. Just like that. So that will wind that side up. Now let's do this side right here. Same thing, same deal. Push it down in there. Get you 1/2 inch cap. Essentially push it down in there. All right, now that is making the little nipple section of this water right here. So we're going to go over here to the tractor and we're going to put it on. So alrighty, now what I'm going to do is mount this to the tractor right here. So I want it about level, so I might end up having some chicks in here. This is I mean, you know, you could use it for multiple things, but I might end up putting some chicks in here, so I don't want it to be up too high. But I need it to be high enough so that the chickens, the full-grown chickens, can get under it and do it. So I'm going to do it somewhere right about there. That looks pretty good. So let's do that. Take a screw it and mount it. Alrighty, there's that one. This is gonna do, let's do this side right over here. Take this one and something like that. There. Take this side, lost my screw. That's what I get for setting it down on the grass. Now, what I'm going to do is get another screw, and same thing right over here. Do it on that side. Cinch it down. That way it's good and snug up to the thing, so it won't really move. We're gonna go get the bucket ready, make the bucket section of this, and we'll show you that. I already know what we're doing right here. So I have these little, I don't know what you call them, outlets or something. I ordered off Amazon. I'll put the link in the description that I use for all my buckets. But I ended up getting a bigger rubber gasket, rubber washer, and a bigger washer. That helps seal it off. The ones it comes with just a little bit small for what I need. But I'm going to use use an inch drill bit and drill the hole into this bucket right here. So whenever you're doing this, you're going to want to be sure that you have it up high enough. That way it's not pushing down on the bottom of the bucket, because the lip is actually a little bit up some. So I'm going to put it right about there somewhere. So I'm going to take this drill. Let's look, be sure. Drill that hole right there. Alright, take and kind of clean it off. Now, this is the inside section of that of this gasket or outlet, whatever you want to call it. I use this 1 inch, and it's actually a little bit small. So, what I'm going to do is take my little torch here and heat this up right around the edges. Heat it up, make it a little bit pliable. Just get it real good and warm without melting it too much. But like I said, you want it pliable, so you can take this and basically screw it in. So, because it's really tight, and whenever you heat that up, it makes it a whole lot easier screwing, and it gives you a good tight seal right there. So, basically screwing that out of the bucket. Till it bottoms out, about as good as it gets. Somewhere right there. So now what I'm going to do is take some more of my pipe thread compound and run along the threads of this pipe right here before we get too much further. Basically the threads of this outlet. So take it, put you some compound down in there. This just helps seal everything off. Alright, let's got that done. And I'm going to put my washer back on here. And then my metal washer on the outside. And then we're going to take this nut that it comes with, cinch her down. So I'm gonna get my big channel locks and some that's just a little bit smaller. This part is a little bit easier if you have extra help, extra set of hands, but I've did it numerous times by myself. You're going to essentially grab that washer on the inside best you can. Grab that washer there on the inside and go to tighten it down. Grab this a little better here. Just get it as tight as you can get it, because that'll keep it from sealing or keep it from leaking. gonna say that's gonna be good enough right there. So, all right, there is our, that's our bucket. It's ready. So, we'll go over here, put it on the tractor. I'll show you how to do that. Alrighty, now essentially what I did was put two eyelets on this 2x4 back here, and just put a bungee strap across the bucket. That way it'll help hold it on. Wind won't blow it off. Keeps it kind of where it needs to be. So let's go to hooking up this hose right here. So I'm gonna run it down right in there, go around here. Let's see, I don't know what I did with my clamp. Let's look here. Get you a screw down clamp and go in here. I'm gonna take this into the hose and put it on this male portion of this T right here. So let's one way it's easier to basically essentially push it down on here is again, take your torch and heat it up. So that's what I'm gonna do. You don't want to catch it on fire. You just want to heat it up good enough, get it good and pliable. Stick it down on there just about as soon as you pull it off. That makes your life a whole lot easier than trying to push it and take a chance of breaking it. And you're gonna take your clamp and just cinch it down right there. And that's all there is in here. So what we're gonna do on the outside here is I have a male, this is basically a water hose connection there. Got a male part of that, and then I have a shut-off valve that I'm going to put on the outside of this bucket. Also, another little trick I found too. So whenever this bucket is open out in the field, it gets all kinds of, trash and bugs and stuff like that in it that you don't necessarily want to get into your watering tubes and clog everything up and cause you some heartache. So while I was at Ace just a little bit ago, I found a little screen that you can put in there, and I believe I'm going to put it in this section of the water hose. Kind of keep trash out of it. Feel like ain't gonna hurt nothing. Why not try it? Might not help, but I really don't think it's gonna hurt anything. So we'll put that right down in there. Actually, might be better to. This is rubber, so yeah, let's do it like this. Put it down right in there. All right, there's a clamp. So we're going to want to measure how much of a hose we're going to want to use, and then cut off the rest. So the majority of the time we'll probably have it off kind of like this right here. You don't need a lot of extra play, so let's just cut it. Let's cut it right there, right here on this section. Alright, same deal. So I'm gonna heat this up after I put that clamp down in there. Heat this up real good without catching it on fire. And we're going to push this coming right down into there. Push it. This one ain't wanting to go as good as the rest of them now. Probably because I got a too much bigger one. Push it down in there real good, as far as you can get it. I believe that is good enough. I can cinch it down right there. That'll make it tight. So I believe that's good enough. Alright, let's cinch it down. Let me get my drill here. Just put it right there. Make it tight. Alright, and there is that. So, let's get some more pipe dope here. This threading compound. And put it around the edge of these threads of this bucket again. It's already got some, so I'm just basically reinforcing it there. And I'm gonna put this on right here. Essentially screw it down real good and tight. Alright, there's that. Now, I'm going to take my water hose, put my washer back in it, little screened washer, screw it onto the connection, cinch it down. Alright, there is the bucket watering system. Okay, now, let me show you how I do my feeding system in these. Watch this. Alright, now guys, let's make a feeder. So what I have here, this is about, I think it's 6 foot of 4-inch, the thin pipe. This is basically a drain pipe that you would use for septic lines, stuff like that. But I'm gonna take a 4-inch piece and I'm gonna cut it in two. So I reduced the size, or how deep my skill saw cuts right here. So you have a line basically right down the middle, right here where the wording is. And then I took a Sharpie and made a straight line on the other side. Well, straight-ish line on the other side. And I'm gonna have to go down through there cutting this. So let's go to cutting this right here. Let me get on the other side right here so you can sort of see how it's going, how I'm doing. And I'm just going to go to cutting. I'm going to take and turn it over right here to finish out the cut. And there, one side of it is done right there. So let's do the other side here real quick. Turn it over, finish it out. Alrighty, now my battery went dead on the camera there, so it had cut a little short. But no, I did not cut my arm off. Whenever I went back and watched that, I realized how incredibly unsafe that looks. So don't be stupid like me. Come up with a better way to cutting that. So, all right, let's get back to it. So I've got my 2 halves cut right here. Now, what I'm gonna do is I have 2 caps, 2 4-inch caps. What I'm gonna do is take and put some glue around the end of one of these. I'm gonna really souse her up here. That way it'll hold good. So take that glue, put it in there, and then set that down on it and hold it upside down just like that right there. Now it'll adhere just like that, and then I'll take and do the other one here in just a minute, the other side, after this gets good and dry. But it's better, I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. It's better if let it sit there and dry, that way you can't knock it off, because this is not obviously a full circle, where that cap is a full circle, and it doesn't have a good tight fitting. So just let it dry. That's really all you. That's really the moral of the story. Just let it dry. Sit there and dry. Same thing on this one. Push it down. Let it sit there and dry for a little while. It'll get good and sealed, and it'll get good and sealed. We'll turn it over, do the other end, and hang it up here in a few minutes. So, alrighty, now that's been drying for a pretty good little bit. So, what I'm gonna do is take a couple of these eyelets, and I'm gonna drill a hole in this cap right here, essentially at the very top, right in the middle. And we're gonna screw some eyelets down into that cap. Just like that. Then I'm going to take and repeat it on the same side, and then we're going to hang it up in the chicken coop in here. And I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Alrighty, now what we're going to do is take our feeder in here and hang it up. So I'm going to hang it up from the frame of this tractor, the roof of it, pretty much. Let's run this through here, tie it off. There's that. Now I'm going to take and hook it on this one right here, this brace. And run it back through here on this other side. And I want it to just be off the ground, not real far, just far enough so it don't drag too much. And then I'm gonna take my torch and cut this twine with this torch right here. That way it won't fray. Let that cool off for just a second. It's gonna be real hot. And then I'm gonna tie it up here again. Just like that. All right, that's got one side of our feeder. let's do the other side. So take your line. Tie it down here. Hang it up off the ground, just good enough. Now, whenever you're dragging this through the pasture, your grass is not going to be cut like it is here in the yard. So, you want it up good enough, not so high that the chicks can't get to it, but high enough that it's not going to hinder too much whenever you're pulling it through the field. So, something kind of like that. That'd be, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 inches off the ground. Take and cut it again. And there is you a hanging feeder right there. That there is a whole lot cheaper than you going to buy one any day. Works out good. I've did this in my other tractors. So far, I'm pleased with it. You know, it's a lot cheaper than what you have to buy in the store. So, hang on, and we'll do this final step, and we'll have this project completed finally. Feel like we've been working on it forever. So, hang on just a second. Alrighty, now the last and final step of building this chicken tractor is putting this roof on, this tarp. So, if you're not going to use it right now, I probably wouldn't worry with putting this on just yet. I have one more round of meat birds I'm going to use in these tractors right here for the year. So I am going to go ahead and put this on. I will be taking it off after that, putting it up for the winter. That way it won't, you know, destroy, get tore up in the winds and everything throughout the winter and weather, because these are, you know, these are not cheap. And if you can get a few years out of them, that'd be great. So essentially what you're gonna do is just stretch it out. Actually, ideally, you'd have more than one person helping you, but everybody's at school, Brittany's at work, it's just me. So we're just gonna throw it across best you can. Try not to have any catches on it anywhere. Try not to have anything that's gonna tear on your tractor here, because you don't want to tear your new tarp. Essentially pull it down through here, both sides, pull it, pull it down. Now, what I'm going to do is take my screws. Let me show you. I've got some screws with some big heads, pretty much like this right here. That is what I'm going to use, tying this down with around the bottom, around the edges on both sides. That way, whenever I go to take it off and just unscrew them, save them, that'll be it. But this will keep it from blowing off there on the bottoms. See how it's coming up there? I'm not going to cinch it all the way down, just pretty snug. So let's do that. Let me change out my head here. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 10 of these, so I'm gonna put 5 on each side for the moment. Be sure you got it where you want it. Make at least come down just a touch this way. There's that one. Let's check this side here. Come out some, pretty much like that right there. And just go to screwing it down. So you're not going to want to, you're definitely going to want to do each side, or each corner, I mean, on each side. You're definitely going to want to do the corners. So kind of pull it tight. Leave yourself plenty of room, that way if you have to pull it down on that side right over there. There's that. And there's a little bit of a gap over here between the wood and the end, so I'm gonna pull it tight. That's the reason I left plenty of room. Pull it tight. Screw it down. On this final corner here, pull it tight. Screw it down. Alright, there's 1, 2. Three. 4. 5. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do this one right here in the middle. Alright, that's got that. Now what I'm going to do is take several bungee straps around the ends and run it through one of them eyelets. Pull it tight. There's that one. There's one here. One here. Actually, I may use that one for the something else. One, two. All right, that's 5 on this side. I'm gonna go do 5 on the other side. That wraps it up. All you gotta do is put chickens in it. So, that is building a John Suscovich style chicken tractor. Now this is gonna be, it's gonna be a longer video. You know, it is what it is. You can't help it. But the reason I wanted step by step is because whenever I first did this, there was pieces I was questioning if I was doing it right or how they did it. So by me showing you that, it might help somebody out in the long run and answer some questions they had, you know, if they need to skip through the video or whatever. But that is it. That is how I build my Suscovich style chicken tractor. I really like these. I like these better than the Salatin version. These do cost a bird the amount of chickens you can get in it versus the Joel Salatin. These you cannot get as many. The Salatin you can get several more. So basically 2 of these to 1 Salatin. But the reason I don't like the Salatin is because whenever you're going to kill your chickens, they're constantly running from you under there. You have to get a net, try to get on your hands and knees. You're up and down constantly. With these right here, just walk in there and get them. And it's no big deal. But I like these better. In the end, it costs you a little more, but I feel like it's worth it in the long run. So That's it. That's all I got for you. If you're liking my videos, if you're liking what I'm doing, like my channel or subscribe to the channel, like this video. If you have any questions about anything, you know, comment, leave me a comment, and I'll try to do what I can to answer it. So, but, you know, that's it. Until next time, this is Tad, your homestead provider. God bless.